So, what can we conclude by all this? The first thing we conclude is that Preston J. Douglas is no expert in the field of medical malpractice law the way he's been claiming for years. He's not even close to being an expert in the field. As a matter of fact, his handling of the Dr. Holland case proves the exact opposite. He has proven himself to be a totally incompetent attorney who doesn't have a clue as to what he is doing. The second thing we can conclude is that Preston J. Douglas cannot be trusted to handle one's legal affairs in a professional and competent manner. All Preston J. Douglas was interested in this case was to nickel and dime it to death and cut every conceivable corner that he possibly could. The little work he did do is totally incompetent. I mean, he didn't perform any of the functions an attorney needs to do to properly prepare a case, namely read the medical records and depose key witnesses. All he did was contact an unnecessary expert witness, provide him with incomplete medical records, waste $2,000 of my money, and come to the wrong conclusion about the case. Furthermore, Mr. Douglas makes weak, inept, and pathetic legal arguments. As we reviewed, he claims he doesn't know when Dr. Holland altered his falsified document. Then he claims he sent it to the insurance company on December 20th. Then he thinks maybe Phyllis may have been showing symptoms from the aneurysm after she gave birth. I mean, this is not the way real attorneys write legal arguments. Real attorneys write legal arguments where every statement is a powerful, definitive statement. Read Kathleen M. Beck's legal arguments. That's exactly what they are. Mr. Douglas's were obviously done at the absolute last minute. He was in a big rush. That's why they read the way they do. They're a total embarrassment, frankly. And Mr. Douglas embarrassed himself in front of the judge and Kathleen M. Beck, especially Kathleen M. Beck, but he was unaware of it. He's oblivious to the ramifications of his own actions. He actually thought he had this case figured out at the time he submitted his prescription from the damn family doctor legal arguments. So if you're looking for a powerhouse attorney like the ones you see on TV that give press conferences with the client standing next to them, notifying the public and the authorities as to what the defendant is up to, you can forget about Preston J. Douglas, that's for sure. Obviously, he should have informed the appropriate medical and legal authorities as to what Dr. Holland and his associates were up to. And what makes Preston J. Douglas a total disaster is that he is defendant biased, as we've indicated. All he did was twist critical facts around to Dr. Holland's benefit, and he even went as far as claiming that he falsified his advised CT scan document because he felt guilty. I mean, this is not what a plaintiff's attorney is supposed to do, obviously. And the fact that he did it in the Dr. Holland case indicates where his biases are at. They are definitely towards the defendant. So it is not worth the risk, to try and work with him. In any event, who wants to work with an attorney that has a proven track record of destroying at least one case? And this was a landmark medical malpractice case of historic proportions. So this is my recommendation as far as Preston J. Douglas's legal services are concerned. Double thumbs down, and if I had more thumbs, they'd all be facing down. Avoid at all costs, otherwise it might wind up costing you your legal affairs the way it cost me. My son and I never collected a penny of restitution on this case, and it should have been paid off in spades. Obviously, the other two surgeons and the hospital should have been sued. Mr. Douglas failed to do that, of course. He couldn't even get the case against Dr. Holland right. I mean, his prescription from the family doctor legal arguments are totally ridiculous, let's face it. So that is my recommendation. If you think you have a medical malpractice case, open up the yellow pages. There are pages and pages of medical malpractice attorneys, especially in the New York City area. You sure as hell don't want to work with Preston J. Douglas, who is known to have screwed up at least one major case. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.